Welcome to the forum on AD 17 special election. That election will be held on February 15th, and there are 4 candidates. What CARA and SDA are doing today is allowing the candidates to speak to us and answer some questions we have. And these are going to be questions that seniors and people with disability have formulated. So we are going to do that. One of the things.
Hold on. Let's let Yesenia.
I wanted to explain we were doing that.
Okay.
We will be having translation after a few sentences, and so that people who speak Spanish can get everything they need from this meeting.
Buenas tardes, gracias por acompañarnos en esta tarde. Les queremos informarles que vamos a tener interpretación en español. Tenemos preguntas para los 4 candidatos a la Asamblea Estatal del Distrito 17. Estos 4 candidatos fueron invitados por CARA para darles una oportunidad de hacerles preguntas y que ellos tengan una forma de poder responder cuáles son sus prioridades para las personas mayores y también personas incapacitadas. Gracias.
And what we will be doing is allowing the speakers, the people who are running, to speak for 8 minutes. Basically, we have given them a list of 8 things we would like them to cover. And then we will go to questions for them.
Vamos a tener estos 4 candidatos, les vamos a dar 15 minutos a cada candidato y de esos 15 minutos van a tener una sección para preguntas y respuestas que usted va a poder hacer.
All right. We also will, as when I said questions to follow, we will be taking questions from those of you who are here. And so you can ask a question if you need to. And if you want to, you can also put your questions into the chat. And basically, if they're in the chat, we will send them, if they don't get to them, we will send them to the people who are running, for the 4 candidates, and then we will try and get the answers out to people.
También, si usted quiere participar, si usted tiene cualquier pregunta para ellos, por favor, puede levantar su mano para hacer su pregunta o también puede ponerla en la sección de chat. Si usted tiene habilidad, puede poner su pregunta. Si su pregunta no es contestada en este momento, podemos enviarle su pregunta a los candidatos para que puedan contestarla en el futuro.
All right. I am going to see if I can contact our first speaker, Matt Haney, right now to get him on.
Vamos a contactar nuestro primer candidato de esta tarde para que podamos empezar con las preguntas.
All right. Jody, you have anything you want to say about this at all?
No, we'll call. Well, I will explain the Q&A after, so that after the 8 minutes, we'll have like 7 or 8 minutes for each candidate to receive questions from you. If you want to ask a question, whether it's in English or Spanish, we'll translate it. Raise your hand either by on your Zoom. There's a icon that says, oh, here he is. It says reactions. Raise your hand. And if you're on the phone, you press *9, and then I will call on you in the order that you raise your hand, and we'll take as many as we can.
Si usted quiere hacer preguntas a cualquiera de los candidatos, puede levantar donde está el icono para levantar su mano, o también si está en el teléfono, puede oprimir *9.
All right, Matt Haney, I need to tell you something. We have we cannot do a simultaneous translation, so we're going to have to ask you to speak, and then we'll have somebody right here that will do that. You know, we're not all that perfect on Zoom, and you're laughing at me, I know. So this is Matt Haney. He is a supervisor, and he was on the school board, and he is our first candidate to speak to us. Go ahead, Matt.
Este es nuestro
I thought you were going to say you aren't all that perfect, Henny, and I said, don't lie to me. I've known you for a long time. You're perfect to me. It's good to see you. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for hosting this. It's an honor to be here with you all. I am Matt Haney. I'm running for Assembly District 17. I was born and raised in the Bay Area, raised by a single mom. I went to public schools. I went to public university, and I've spent my entire career in public service here in San Francisco, serving this community. I ran the UC Student Association, where I fought for young people across the state to ensure they had access to higher education. I started a nonprofit with Van Jones called Cut 50, where we worked for criminal justice reform across the state. I served 6 years on the Board of Education, where I worked to bring computer science to our schools, to bring more funding, improve our facilities, build teacher housing. And now I am 3 years into being on the Board of Supervisors. So 9 years in elected office. I represent.
Oh, you may need to take a break.
Oh, sorry.
I want to translate.
Okay.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Matt Haney, yo soy el supervisor del Distrito 17. También yo soy de aquí de la área de la Bahía. Fui a escuelas públicas y colegio público. También fui criado por una madre soltera, pero más que nada tengo mi historial es trabajando con la comunidad y con el público. Y esta tarde pues quiero gracias por invitarme para poder contestar sus preguntas.
I'll just wrap up real quick with my introduction. So I represent District 6 currently, which is downtown San Francisco, the Tenderloin, south of Market, Mission Bay, and Treasure Island. I have fought for my entire time on the board for more affordable housing, including housing for seniors, making sure that we expand tenant protections, that we get people off our streets into supportive housing and services, that we fix our broken mental health system, that we support our most vulnerable residents throughout the pandemic.
También yo soy del distrito 6 y he luchado bastante para poder conseguir viviendas que sean accesibles para las personas mayores, para las personas que también están sin viviendas, y por supuesto es mi lucha de tratar de mejorar nuestro sistema mental en nuestras áreas, al igual que trabajo en la área que viene siendo la área de central de aquí de San Francisco.
I've worked on our toughest challenges here in our city, and I've been able to have success in moving forward results. I passed the overpaid executive tax, which is going to bring in over $100 million a year to expand our public health system and healthcare system. I have been able to build more housing in my district than any other by far, including affordable housing. But all of these things can't be solved in one neighborhood or one district or even one city. We need state leadership. We need to take these bold ideas to Sacramento and not only get more support and more investment so we can do more, but also make sure everywhere in the state is doing their part.
Quiero decir que he logrado muchas luchas difíciles para poder conseguir viviendas más accesibles para nuestra comunidad. He logrado en mis luchas, que han sido varias, de poder conseguir 100 millones para poder tener estos fondos para utilizarlos para el sistema público de salud, el sistema de vivienda y poder lograr estos cambios. Pero también se necesita lograr esto a nivel estatal.
We have a crisis of economic inequality, and that leads to homelessness. It leads to people without access to health care. So one of my top priorities is making sure that we have high-paying jobs for everyone, and that we have corporations pay their fair share so that we can invest in public services like our healthcare system and housing, similar to what I did with the overpaid executive tax here in San Francisco.
También tenemos una crisis no igualada, donde viene siendo que hay mucho trabajo para hacer en la sección de salud, también en la sección que las personas puedan ganar sueldos accesibles para poder sostenerse, tener servicio médico y, por supuesto, viviendas accesibles.
And we also are facing an existential crisis with climate change, which we're already experiencing the impacts of with increased extreme weather, air quality, wildfires. And so we need to have leadership to be much more aggressive to move us towards net zero emissions. We've set a goal for 2045 that is frankly too long for us to wait to move towards clean energy in all of our states' procurement, and to be able to transition, in particular, our transportation system to be built around clean energy.
También tenemos un problema con tratar de reducir emisión de carbono en el estado y otros esfuerzos con nuestro clima. Esto es algo que también necesitamos que lograr a nivel estatal, que sea posible y poder tener esto donde podamos tener transportaciones adecuadas y más que nada pues poder respirar aire limpio.
And I'll just end now with just one last point, which is that, I've been on the front lines of a lot of our biggest challenges here with mental illness, with drug addiction, with the need for affordable housing. I've seen them up close. I've worked on these issues. I live in the Tenderloin. I am a renter. I would be only one of three, the third renter out of 120 legislators. We need more people who are living in the realities that so many of our residents are facing, and I would be able to fight for and deliver for them. I look forward to your questions.
También estoy al frente veo todo lo que viene siendo los problemas mentales, problemas de drogadicción en nuestra comunidad, y también soy uno de 120 legislativos que todavía rento. Yo rento una vivienda y pues esto es algo que muy pocos lo hacen.
Okay, we have some questions. Raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. Raise the icon on under reactions and raise hand, or on the phone, press *9. Yesenia will translate the question, and then after Matt answers, we'll have Cynthia will translate the answer. So first up is Ligia.
Oh, okay, thanks. If you get elected, what would be your plan for state funding for mental health and not allowing the expansion of conservatorship? And also, could you talk a little bit about SSI? Because, we have a lot of seniors and people with disabilities that depends on SSI. So let me translate that so I can make it easier for the translator. La pregunta es si es elegido, ¿qué va a hacer él para poner más fondos para la salud mental y no permitir una expansión de las tutelas Y también, ¿qué haría para ayudar a las personas que están en ese SAI?
Well, first on mental health, as you know, mental health services have been a huge priority for me here in San Francisco. With Supervisor Ronan, I authored Mental Health SF. We've already invested over $80 million into that system to expand treatment beds, to expand case management, and the overwhelming approach that we're taking is voluntary services. People need to have access to care, and right now there are long wait lists. There's inadequate beds available, and my priority would be to expand that system at the state level.
Okay, Cynthia, you're up.
Oh,
Buenas
sorry.
tardes.
Oh, I was pausing
Sí.
for translation.
Buenas tardes. Su respuesta es que su prioridad primaria es que la salud mental es un enfoque muy importante para él, y él ha estado trabajando previamente con el supervisor Rona, y han invertido hasta $80 millones en este enfoque para expandir camas y para expandir trabajadores que trabajen con los casos de salud mental. También expandir el servicio de voluntario para estos servicios, y es muy importante que haya acceso a la salud mental. Entonces, esta es su prioridad en el cual él se está enfocando en este momento.
And you know, there was also a part of the question about the funding. And, you know, one of the things that we need to do is make sure that private providers treat mental health with the same level of care and service that they're required to under the law. But there's not enough oversight over that and accountability in terms of parity in care. And so you have folks like Kaiser that are ostensibly a nonprofit, but really needs a lot more effective oversight from the state. In terms of funding, you know, we do need to tax big corporations, similar to what we did with the executive tax here, to bring more funding into the system and ultimately move towards a single payer Medicare for all system.
Excuse me, can you say something about not expanding the conservatorship?
Oh, you know, I don't have any plans to expand conservatorship. You know, I think our system of conservatorship right now, often we're not able to get people who already are in a conservatorship into the care they need. That's an area that I think needs some support and help. You know, I did support the very limited expansion here at the local level. And I think that, you know, we should make sure that when we do those sort of things that people are actually getting help. And I think when we did it here, very few people even sort of qualified for it, and it hasn't been very successful. So I think we can work within the system that we have around conservatorship, you know, the LPS conservatorships, and in those situations, make sure that people get the help they need. That will be my priority.
El candidato estaba diciendo que en la cuestión de conservatorship, no sé cómo traducir eso, a lo mejor me puede ayudar Ligia. Él no está planeando en expandir.
Tutela.
¿Perdón?
Tutelas.
Las tutelas. Dice que él no está planeando en expandir ese programa. De hecho, que no ha sido tan fructífero en esta área del expandir. So, él no tiene ningún ahorita enfoque en expandir las tutelas.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. Our next candidates are here. So Karen Fishkin, you're up next.
Thank you. Welcome, Supervisor.
Thank you.
Bienvenido, supervisor.
The use of the term affordable has expanded greatly in the past. And
El
I'm
tema-
wondering, oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
El tema accesible se ha expandido bastante.
So I'm wondering, when you use that term, what is it you're referring to? What income levels
Cuando
are
usted
in
usa
that
es-
category?
cuando usted usa ese término accesible, ¿qué ingreso es el que usted está tomando en cuenta? ¿Qué significa?
That's a good question. You know, for me, I think generally we are referring to people who make between 20 and 80% of AMI in San Francisco. There are some projects in some cases where we are including people who are at 100% of AMI, that's sort of more middle income. But to the extent you're saying that we are not adequately prioritizing people who are at the very low income and low income levels, I would agree. You know, most of the low income and very low income housing is built in District 6, and I've supported us to continue moving aggressively to build for those levels. And I don't think that we can just replace very low income and low income housing in a project with middle income.
Thank you.
Es el candidato que es cierto, él está en acuerdo que muchas veces cuando referimos al término de que es accesible, estamos hablando de viviendas que pueden o que traen el ingreso de 80% del ingreso mediano de California, y él está totalmente de acuerdo que tenemos que servir a las comunidades de muy, muy bajos recursos, y en el Distrito 6 se puede ver que hay muchas familias que necesitan este tipo de ayuda, a las familias que están muy por debajo de del medio de pobreza.
Okay, we're going to take one more question, but I do want to ask the candidate if you would take a look at the chat, because people have put some questions in the chat, and maybe you can respond to them in the chat when we're done with your section, because we have our other candidates waiting. So we'll take one more, but if you look at the chat, you'll see there's 2 or 3 questions for you in there, and maybe you can respond to them. Okay, the last question in this section verbally is Harry Bernstein.
Thank you very much for joining us today. First, I'll observe that if you win, Mayor Breed would appoint your replacement. Please explain, on August 11th, 2020, you voted to approve the sale and privatization of the Balboa Reservoir project. Should I let the translators?
I'm sorry, you cut off on my end. Can you repeat that? I apologize for that.
Okay. On August 11th, 2020, you voted to approve the sale and privatization of the Balboa Reservoir project.
En agosto del 2020, usted aprobó la venta para el lugar Balboa Este.
The price was discounted by 95%, and you expressed no interest in an alternative proposal, which instead of privatizing the property would have produced 550 affordable units. And we have those, we have the market and no market rate units. We have those in excess.
Usted no notó ningún interés cuando el precio fue 95% bajo lo que era el precio programado, y usted no notó ningún interés, y en este tiempo eso iba a dar 550 accesibles viviendas.
Was there a question?
Yeah, the question was, please explain, because if you'll do that kind of corporate thing to the detriment of the community, City College people were opposed to it, and community members, I don't know how you...
All right, you've asked the question. You want him to answer. He understands it.
Por favor,
okay.
explique
Yes.
el motivo de a este ejemplo que di.
Yeah, so it was a unanimous vote at the Board of Supervisors, I believe. I deferred to my colleagues who represent the area who negotiated it. It's my understanding that there were, significant amount of housing that would be built. I understand that you had a different proposal, but I deferred to my colleagues who represented that area on the development in their district.
Thank you.
Dice nuestro candidato que el voto fue unánime y él estuvo de acuerdo con la mayoría de supervisores, entonces él él estuvo de acuerdo con el resto de la mesa que ellos votaron en ese voto. Entonces fue un voto unánime junto con los votos de los restos supervisores.
All right. Well, Matt, we want to thank you for being here. There are some questions, some very good ones in the chat. And if you could get back, we would appreciate. Okay.
Gracias, Matt, por estar aquí. También queremos decirle que si por favor contesta las preguntas que están en la sección del chat para poder revisarlas.
I did respond to two of the questions there. One is allowing for a law to let local jurisdictions pass taxes on extreme wealth. Absolutely, I support that. I'm going to pursue that. It's just that we're not able to do that here. And then absolutely, we need massive reforms to the Ellis Act. AB 854 was heard in committee this week in the Housing Committee. We need to make sure that that passes to stop speculation and the way that the Ellis Act is used by speculators.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Talk soon.
Talk soon. Did you want to give the Spanish for the two things that he just stated or not? No. All right.
Rápidamente nomás dejó saber nuestro candidato
Thank
que
you.
se acaba de ir, que sí contestó las respuestas que han puesto ahí al ladito en el chat. So, si gusta una respuesta, él puede hacerlo en este momento, pero sí contestó que él está de acuerdo que el acuerdo él necesita una reforma y él contestó otra pregunta que no alcancé a escuchar.
Thank you very much. So the second speaker is Thea Selby, and she is a member of the Community College Board, and she will be speaking to you at this point. So if we can get Thea on, I would appreciate it.
I'm here.
Hello, Thea.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Tenemos nuestra segunda candidata, Tía. Ella está aquí con nosotros.
All right.
Thank you. Gracias. So I will go quickly, but hopefully not too quickly, and really try and answer your questions, but not take too much of your time.
Go ahead.
Voy a ir rápidamente, contestar sus preguntas sin tomar mucho de su tiempo.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Gracias.
the first question are the top three legislative priorities. And the first one for me as a City College trustee is increasing funding for education because it is the ladder of opportunity for the most disadvantaged in our city.
La primera pregunta es, ¿cuáles son sus tres principales prioridades legislativas?
So the first one is increasing funding for education because it's a ladder of opportunity for the most disadvantaged in our city.
What are you saying? She translated that.
I didn't hear that.
Ya, no, eso es lo que ella está diciendo es que su
It's the
prioridad
first-
es
yeah, mhm.
dar fondos para City College porque es la escalera para que la gente pueda subir en su escala financiera.
Thank you. And of course, seniors benefit as there would be more funding for community college courses that they can take as lifelong learners.
Y por supuesto los seniors se van a beneficiar porque van a poder continuar tomando clases.
And the action required, which you asked for, is to bring forth Proposition 15, the split roll for commercial properties again as a ballot measure, and to support it wholeheartedly.
Y la manera de hacer esto sería traer nuevamente la propuesta 15, que sería para poder cambiar y que las corporaciones puedan aportar el dinero para poder hacer estos cambios al City College.
And you said that better than I did, but not just for City College, also for all of education. So my second priority is to increase funding for public transportation so that we can meet or exceed our climate goals.
Su segunda prioridad sería poner más fondos para transportación pública para mejorar los cambios climáticos.
Abundant, safe, affordable public transit helps seniors get around the city and the region.
Abundante transportación pública va a ayudar que los seniors puedan moverse en toda la ciudad.
Y la región.
Y en toda la
And the action
región.
required is I would author the legislation needed to get voices for public transportation ballot measure with progressive revenue sources on the ballot in 2024. And I've been working on that for 3 years.
Y eso, yo quiero ser la autora de una propuesta en la cual haya un impuesto progresivo para que sea usado esos fondos para mejorar todas las opciones de transporte.
Nicely done. And Medicare for All is my third priority. And I support AB 1400, as did our outgoing Assembly member, David Chiu. And the action is it's going to appropriations, Assembly appropriations on the 21st of January, and we all need to support it.
Y mi tercera prioridad es apoyar el Medicare para todos en el estado. Con eso la propuesta AB 1400
Wow.
y pues ahorita esa propuesta va a estar en la mira, va a poderse votar sobre ella y pues eso es lo que yo deseo que pase.
So those are my three priorities. Now I want to get to the second question, which is about home care and moving people from long-term care in nursing homes into home care.
La segunda pregunta, que es acerca de dar fondos para servicios a largo plazo y mover ese dinero que se utiliza para los asilos de ancianos o las casas de ancianos hacia una respuesta comunitaria.
And I support it, especially if this is what seniors see as the best way to take care of themselves.
Y yo la apoyo especialmente porque esa es la opción que los seniors miran como la mejor para poder cuidarse a sí mismos.
Mhm. My husband takes care of his elderly parents at home with the help of home care right now.
Mi esposo cuida a su tía en la casa con la ayuda de trabajadoras del hogar.
My parents-in-law have no desire to go to a nursing home, and with 2 pensions, they both worked in education in the East Bay, they could not afford to go to an assisted living facility.
Mis padres no ven la opción de ir a un asilo de ancianos como una opción válida y con 2 pensiones, ellos se dedicaron a la educación, con 2 pensiones, ellos no tienen la opción de pagar por cuidado. Y por eso es una
Okay.
prioridad.
I need to tell you, Thea, we have about 1.5 minutes. And so get to the next
Well,
thing you want.
we did give 25 minutes to the prior candidate, so I would hope I would get an equal amount.
You
of time.
didn't, no, he did not get a full 25 minutes, Thea. I was explaining what was going on before he started.
Okay, well, I would love to get.
Okay.
I care deeply about CARA. I think you're an amazing organization.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am. I'm
Please
going ahead.
go ahead.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I'm doing. I want.
I
to-
have told Bilal that I will
Okay,
tell
okay.
him when he can come in.
Thank you. I wanted to say that I believe deeply in the work that CARA has done. And Haney Kelly, actually, I believe it might have been somebody else, but I think it was Haney Kelly who first brought me to you probably 5 to 7 years ago.
It was.
Quiero decirles que me siento orgullosamente, muy orgullosa de saber y conocer a CARA. Tengo más de 5 años, me trajo Haney Kelly y fue el que me introdujo a CARA y pues tengo mucha admiración hacia esta organización.
Thank you. And also I want to say that I did some surveys during the pandemic around transportation, and many seniors moved to San Francisco because they want to be in a place that allows them to age in place and be able to move around. So we must have great public transportation in San Francisco.
Right.
También quiero decirles que yo hice una encuesta donde de personas mayores que quieren que tengan transportación accesible y que puedan envejecer en un lugar adecuado, como en el lugar aquí en San Francisco.
Exactly. And
You just covered 2 things that we did in our meeting prior to you coming. Those 2 things are so important to us, the City College and the transportation, and really SSI and things like that, and having being able to age in place. Thank you.
yes, you're welcome.
Gracias. Gracias. Usted cubrió 2 de nuestras prioridades muy grandes, que es una transportación y por supuesto la otra de poder proteger el colegio aquí en San Francisco.
And I can keep going. I have lots more to say, but I have a feeling Henny is telling me to say goodbye.
Oh, no, we wanted to keep you on so that people could ask you a couple questions.
Oh, good. Okay, let's do
All
that.
right.
Let's
So
do
we have
that.
Ahora
two-
vamos a tener a la audiencia que puede hacer unas preguntas para usted.
Perfecto.
Okay, so raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. We have 2 hands up already, and there are some in the chat, Ms.
I
Selby.
see-
So
I
if
see them.
if
I
you
do see
can
them.
stay on after and answer those too,
Okay,
that would
thank
be
you.
great. Okay, Michael Lyon.
Yeah, what have you done to combat the virtual elimination of the OLAD program of adult education courses at City College?
So we are
Oh,
working
hold on. Let them translate the question. first.
¿Qué es lo que usted ha hecho para poder proteger la educación de adultos en el colegio local?
Yeah, so we unfortunately did have to close them, but we are looking at bringing them back as soon as we can. And that's partially what this funding, like Proposition 15, will allow us to do, because seniors being able to have classes, including repeatability, is another thing that I'd like to bring back, is so very important.
Sí, tristemente tuvimos que cerrar el programa, pero estamos viendo en traerlo de regreso, propuestas como la propuesta 15, trajera estos fondos de regreso. Y claro, es muy importante para mí que gente mayor tenga acceso a clases, que lo tenga con frecuencia. Entonces estamos viendo en regresarlo muy pronto.
Thank you.
Okay, Art.
Yeah, hi Thea.
Hello.
Hola,
I got
tía.
a question about City College for you.
Yes.
Please tell us your understanding of the difference between a community college and a junior college, which version of CCF-SF you support, why you support it, and what you're prepared to do in the state legislature to build your vision of CCSF and the community college or junior college system in the state, and depending on which one you support.
Yes,
También,
por
también me
favor.
gustaría que si puede explicar la diferencia de lo que viene siendo colegio de ciudad local y un colegio de comunidad local. Y que si usted apoya el CCFF y por qué lo apoya.
And I support the community college model, not the junior college model. People have different definitions. My definition would be the community college is for the entire community, and the junior college is more for getting people through to the four-year schools, and also some of the training as well. The junior colleges do, the technical junior colleges. So that's how I see the difference. One includes really seniors and people who are not driven towards a certificate or something like that.
Sí, muy buena pregunta. Claro que hay una diferencia. Yo apoyo el colegio de ciudad local. Y ese es más como yo lo veo definido a la que sirve a nuestra comunidad, especialmente a nuestra gente mayor que no están buscando agarrar un bachillerato, no están buscando entrar a un colegio de 4 años, el cual el otro modelo si lo hace es más para preparar a la gente que quieren seguir con sus estudios más adelante. Pero el colegio de la ciudad, esto es lo que hace, sirve a nuestra comunidad, especialmente a nuestros gente mayor como ustedes.
Okay, so there are a couple questions in the chat for you once we close you up. If you want to give your final comments, we will thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Gracias por
Remember, I'm
estar.
not running for community college, I'm running for assembly, and I would
You-
love your vote.
No estoy corriendo para el colegio local, estoy corriendo para su asemblista y me gustaría mucho su voto. También quiero interpretar lo que dijo Jody, que hay preguntas en la sección de chat que Thea Selby va a estar contestando más adelante.
And thank you for the beautiful translations. I really appreciate it. Interpretation.
Thank
Gracias
you.
por la traducción. Gracias
Thank-
a Ligia.
Thank you, Thea.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Is Bilal on?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to introduce Bilal Mahmood, who is an entrepreneur. I see him at all sorts of different democratic and community meetings. When I'm there, he seems to be there, and but he is a new person to me, so I am excited about listening to what he would like to do with and why he is running.
Me gustaría presentar e introducir a Bilal Mahmood, que está aquí con nosotros y queremos darle la bienvenida y estoy muy entusiasmada por saber qué es lo que él tiene para nosotros.
Okay, you're up.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me. For those who don't know me, I appreciate the kind introduction, Haney, as well. But for those who don't know me, my name is Bilal Mahmood. I am a neuroscientist, a civil servant, and an entrepreneur. And I'm running for San Francisco State Assembly because I want to return our city to be a beacon of hope for the middle class, for immigrants, migrants, my parents, grandparents, people who live here and seek to live here as well.
Mi nombre es Bilal Mahmood y yo estoy corriendo para asemblista aquí en el distrito. Sorry, I didn't get what district were you in?
8017, the State Assembly.
Asemblista de 818 y solo quiero decirles que yo estoy tratando de cambiar lo que es la clase media aquí en nuestra ciudad y por supuesto varias cosas que voy a estar hablando.
And this election is important to me because I come as a child of immigrants. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, they've lived in different countries, some that don't exist anymore, some all the way from Punjab to Nairobi, then finally settling here in the Bay Area. And so I know that finally when my parents came here, they were able to break into the middle class because it was things like housing and equity and healthcare the three necessary facets of the middle class that the Bay Area provided to my family when they moved here. And those are the things that we're trying to fight for in this election as well.
Estoy tratando de luchar para las siguientes, para esta elección y tratar de hacer unos cambios. Por ejemplo, el estatus migratorio. Yo soy de familia inmigrante y también nosotros pudimos vivir en diferentes países. Llegamos aquí al área de la bahía y aquí nos acogieron con muchas de más diversas formas para poder llegar a tener y vivir en una clase media.
I do think, though, that to solve these challenges that we face, especially in the rising emergence of rising inequality, a healthcare system that is failing, and a pandemic that has exacerbated this, we need new leadership. We need leadership that can bridge science and innovation and policy.
También hay tanta inequalidad aquí en esta área. Por ejemplo, el sector de salud, especialmente con esta pandemia. Hay tanto por lograr y pienso yo que estamos en un momento muy difícil para hacer estos cambios ahora.
Bridging those things together, I've worked as a scientist at Stanford Medical School, an analyst in President Obama's administration, and an entrepreneur in the nonprofit and the private sectors. I'm extremely proud of the philanthropic work we've done over the last couple of years, providing microloans to small businesses, predominantly impacting female entrepreneurs and working poor across the country, as well as a foundation to help female funded and led nonprofits to help undocumented workers get guaranteed income during the pandemic.
También siendo un científico de Stanford, también puedo decirles que hay cosas que he luchado. Por ejemplo, tratar de traer más información, pero más que nada, mucho más para las personas de clase media.
So how do we bridge those things together from those learned experiences that I've had to address the challenges of today that are affecting and inhibiting the progress of the middle class, housing, healthcare, and climate? For housing, really want to focus on the challenges of today, not just building more affordable housing, which is necessary, but how do we help those who are suffering on our streets? 20% are homeless because of eviction. When the landlord takes over in the first 5 years, they take over a building due to speculation. We need to help support and expand tenants' rights, put a 5-year holding period on the Ellis Act to prevent such evictions going forward in the future.
También hay 3 áreas muy importantes, la vivienda, el clima y también la sector de salud. Y ¿qué es lo que yo creo, yo apoyo? Que pongamos una capa de 5 años para que estas personas que tenemos ahorita el 20% de personas que han perdido sus viviendas y están sin hogar.
But we also need to make it easier for people who are renting, like myself, but for many other folks to be able to pay rent. Housing vouchers are a great program at the federal level, but it's underfunded. And honestly, sometimes it can be used prejudicially against individuals by landlords. So let's establish instead a guaranteed income program that I've seen work in my philanthropic work to help workers. Guaranteed income program of initially raising the tax credit threshold to $75,000 of household income, and eventually up to $500 a month in direct cash to individuals through public banking.
I'm sorry, that was a lot to translate all at once. I'll break it down into. It's okay. Yo también soy rentero. Yo rento y puedo ver que necesitamos un programa, algo que garantice algo efectivo para poder lograr que esto se haga, no nomás ofrecer bonos, vouchers para las personas, pero tener un programa que garantice un programa adecuado para las viviendas.
Expanding to healthcare, we also need to ensure we have universal healthcare and healthcare access for all. Unfortunately, we're still in a pandemic, but we're operating like we're still in day 1 of the pandemic. So I'm promoting, as part of our platform, a new pandemic response agency that uses a 717 model that actually enables us to control outbreaks like we do in Europe and Seoul as well. We also need to ensure we have universal testing within 24 hours for free for every individual, as well as, of course, a single payer universal healthcare model.
Yo creo en lo que viene siendo el pagador único en California, que es conocido como el single payer, pero también yo creo en tener un modelo de salud para todos gratuitamente, como lo tienen otros países, como el país de Sol y Europa. Yo creo en el modelo 717 para poder hacer estos cambios.
And finally, for climate change, which affects all of us as well, it's an existential threat. Just as the pandemic was a powder keg on underlying inequality, I do believe, unfortunately, climate change will have the same powder keg on the inequality that faces our city. I'm promoting a Green New Deal that's been authored with Representative, the Chief of Staff to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who authored the Green New Deal as well. We come up with our own that we published earlier this week in the Examiner to massively reform our government to ensure we can accelerate the technology, make it cheaper for people to adopt and retrofit their homes, as well as to buy electric vehicles, but also to transition us away from oil and gas lobbies as well. Yeah.
También yo creo en lo que viene siendo nuestro clima, que es algo de eliminar, como he mencionado, que esto estamos mencionando, el carbono en el estado y hacer esfuerzos para abordar el calentamiento global. Y para esto yo creo mucho en el programa verde, que está también apoyado por el senador Cortés, que es para reformar cómo el gobierno para lo que viene siendo obtener vehículos y hogares, casas que sean en el modelo verde.
That is how I think we can, good?
Why don't you close up and then we have time
Yeah.
for some questions for you? Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I think we can return San Francisco to be a beacon of hope for the middle class. Housing, equity, healthcare, climate change, a necessary social safety net. I'm proud to have been able to and honored to share this vision with you today. I'm excited to take your questions.
Voy a tomar las preguntas en unos momentos, pero solamente quiero decirles que yo me siento extremadamente apasionado de estas cosas que he mencionado, el sistema de vivienda accesible, el programa el sistema climático y también, como mencioné, la salud.
Okay, so we're opening it up for questions now. Raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question and we'll put you in line. We have one question so far from Ligia.
Yeah, so candidates always say the right thing, you know, because they wanted to promote themselves, right? But I wanted to ask you something specific. So I hear you talking about middle class, but most retirees are not middle class. Most, you know, people with disabilities are not middle class. And this is the people that we work with. So I wanted to ask you, you know, what it means for you affordable housing when you said affordable housing, because, you know, there are people that are on SSI that are making very little money. And so I wanted to know what's your plan for SSI recipients, because you've been talking about middle class, and I just know that most of our constituents are not middle class.
Absolutely. When I talk about the middle class, I'm talking about how do we enable San Francisco to enable everyone to break into the middle class. And the foundation of that is housing, it's guaranteed income, it's healthcare. So it's not about serving the needs of the people who are already in the middle class. It's about ensuring that everyone who is not in it can break into it like my parents did 35 years ago when they moved here. We came with 3 generations in a single bedroom. Mom took public transit every day, went through public schools. So we moved up, and I want to ensure that dream is possible for everyone else who moves here as well. To ensure, should I pause for translation? Or?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, I'm gonna translate my question and translate your answer, okay? Yeah. So, la pregunta fue, usted se ha enfocado mucho en la clase media y la mayoría de las personas que están retiradas y personas con discapacidad no son de la clase media. Y yo quiero saber qué es lo que significa para usted decir vivienda accesible, vivienda económica. Y la respuesta de él es que su idea de hablar de la clase media es de cómo las personas, la mayoría de personas pueden romper esa brecha y convertirse en personas a la clase media y cómo pueden lograr lo que los padres de él lograron cuando vinieron y emigraron a este país.
Okay.
So to answer how we'll actually achieve that, there's three things that are really important tactically. One, we need to ensure there's a guaranteed income for all. So I'm promoting guaranteed income that I've seen work in the nonprofit sector. So anyone with right now it's about $30,000. We want to raise that up all the way up to $75,000 in household income, give everyone a tax credit. Eventually proceed then to $500 a month for everyone under $75,000 in household income and give them $500 a month through a public bank. Two, do need to support SSI, as you mentioned, but three, even more importantly, one of the things that not many people talk about is how EDD failed over the last year, the unemployment platform. I remember I was talking to an organization in one of the, I won't name which office, but they built a robocaller so that one department in government had to automatically dial another department in the government just to like get people benefits, right? This is a failure. And I think it's because a government doesn't understand how to use technology, how to run properly in this context. So I will fight to ensure that EDD is properly run, audit the fraud that's been committed, and ensure we get it running again so people can get their unemployment benefits. So these are the types of things I want to focus on once we get it.
Okay, hold on. There's a lot of stuff in there. So dice que la manera en que él garantizaría que las personas pasen a una clase media sería a través de un programa de ingresos seguros. Y este programa le daría un aproximado de $500 al mes a las personas que ganan menos de $75,000. Otra cosa que él pues apoyaría el SSI, a las personas que están en el SSI, ¿verdad? Agarrar un income más grande, eso incluiría a las personas que están en SSI, de hecho, ¿verdad? El ingreso seguro. Y lo otro es que la agencia de desempleo hizo un trabajo muy pobre durante la pandemia y entonces terminó que venían y hacían unas llamadas de robot que llamaban a otra agencia para poderle dar los beneficios a las personas y esto fracasó. Entonces él quiere que garantizar que esto trabaje bien, que esto sea la agencia de desempleo no solamente funcione bien, pero también se le hagan auditorías para ver que todo está marchando.
Okay, we have time for one more question, David Elliott Lewis, and let's translate his question and then we'll let you answer and translate your answer because that's a lot to do all at once.
I just wanted to thank Leah, thank you for asking the question as well as the double duty of translating at the same time. Appreciate it.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
David. Thank you, Bilal, if I'm saying your name correctly. So California, as you know, has over 100,000 unhoused people, half of them in Los Angeles County. What are your policies or legislation goals that would help do something and maybe do something different that the current system isn't working? What would you do? What would you try to do by policy or legislation?
Absolutely.
Para traducir, mi pregunta es, hay más de 100,000 personas con salud pobre aquí, especialmente en la área de Los Ángeles. ¿Qué es tu propuesta, la nueva póliza para mejorar, para hacer que esto funcione? ¿Qué es lo que usted haría diferente?
So this is a deeply important question. It's one of the primary reasons I'm running. I live 2 blocks from the Tenderloin. I see what has happened over the last year over the pandemic, how it's exacerbated underlying causes of inequality and homelessness. I do think the problem, like you alluded to, is that we keep trying the same thing over and over again, and we need new ideas. I'll just pause and then go ahead.
Okay.
Gracias.
Translate at the end, it's going to be
Sí.
a long answer. So.
Oh, come on.
Perfecto. Dice nuestro candidato que sí, exactamente, esta es una muy buena pregunta y que él, de hecho, que vive 2 bloques del distrito Tenderloin y él puede ver cómo la pandemia ha expandido más la iniquidad entre la gente que puede, ¿verdad? Y tiene los medios y la gente que no lo tiene. Entonces, para él sí es muy importante que arreglemos estos problemas. Él entiende que hay problemas y que sí, se tienen que tratar nuevos métodos y al siguiente nos va a dejar saber cuáles esos nuevos métodos.
So how we solve it is we're promoting a system called the Built for Zero system. This has solved chronic homelessness in 14 US cities across the country. You can look it up, it's evidence-based. What it does is 3 things. First, it would establish a Department of Emergency Management for Homelessness that reorganizes our government to have an interagency task force between public and private sectors. Second is it uses real-time data to understand the status using a by names list methodology to understand how each individual is suffering from homelessness. For every individual, what is their name, what is their health status, where are they located, with their consent, and then what are the reasons they're in homelessness. The third, and this is the most critical part, is it establishes interagency case management teams. Right now, a lot of the case management is separated by different organizations. It bridges them together, weekly collaborative sessions between these groups so that they can treat each individual like a human being, personalized care for every individual. This combination of these 3 components has been highly effective. We don't do it in San Francisco. If people are familiar with the system in San Francisco, we have a coordinated entry system which uses bad data, uses bad algorithms to basically ration shelters to people. We need to flip that mindset. We need to match the number of permanent supportive housing to the individual, not try to use an algorithm that determines who gets shelter and who doesn't. These are the types of things this Built for Zero system turns on its head, and it's been highly effective at reducing chronic homelessness in up to 14 US cities already.
Wow, una respuesta muy buena, que voy a tratar de dar la mejor que puedo. Dice que él piensa que sí, se tiene que tratar algo nuevo y en su propuesta él piensa que tiene que haber un tipo de programa de emergencia para poder combatir es lo que está pasando, que nuestros ciudadanos no tienen dónde vivir. Entonces él piensa que primeramente se tiene que hacer un programa, una colaboración entre las agencias privadas y las agencias no privadas. Segundo, tener información actualizada. Muchas veces pasa esto porque nuestras agencias no están actualizadas. Entonces, él cree que trabajando con información actualizada nos va a dar a los mejores resultados. Sabiendo la persona que necesita en tiempo real, va a ayudar mucho a trabajar con este problema. Número 3, de nuevo, las agencias tienen que estar en acuerdo, tienen que estar hablando la una con la otra. Lo que pasa ahorita es que tenemos muchas agencias trabajando individualmente en sus propios programas. Si estas agencias colaboran, trabajan juntas y se están hablando, tienen juntas en el cual están dialogando sobre el individuo, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar? Que vamos a tratar al individuo como una persona con dignidad, que es un ser humano y no nomás atribuirlo a un número.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Bilal, very much for being here. There may be some questions in the chat still, and if you want to answer them, you can do it on the chat. And thank you so much for coming.
Gracias,
Hey,
Bilal,
everyone.
por venir. Tenemos unas preguntas para que usted pueda contestar en la sección de chat y muchas gracias por participar.
All right, thank you. Our last speaker is David Campos. He has been in San Francisco positions for a long time. He, the first time I met him, he was a city attorney, and then he went on to becoming a supervisor, and he is also the male vice chair of the California Democratic Party. So I'd like to introduce David Campos.
Nuestro próximo candidato es David Campos. Tengo mucho tiempo conociéndolo. El primero fue antes de ser, era abogado para la ciudad y después se fue y es uno de los supervisores de un distrito y le queremos dar la bienvenida a David Campos.
So David, you have unmuted. As you know, we're having to go for translation. So pick those things that are important to you to let us know and put it in chunks that can be translated. Or you can translate. Or you can translate.
Yes.
I can translate as well. And do I have a specific time allotted for an opening statement, or what's the format? I just want to be respectful of that.
Yeah, the format is to take, what is it, about 6-7 minutes to go over some of the questions that we sent you, and then you can take questions and answers from the people who are here. Okay?
Great. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you for everything you do. And let me say that for me, this campaign is about equity. It is about addressing the inequities that were not created by COVID, but were exacerbated by COVID, and inequities that, quite frankly, made COVID so dangerous and so sinister for so many communities, including seniors and the disabled. For me, my campaign is about going to Sacramento to push not incremental change, but to push the state to finally address those inequities. Quisiera comenzar diciéndoles de que para mí esta campaña es acerca de la inigualdad en el estado, el hecho de que en este estado hemos tenido falta de igualdad, lo cual ha empeorado la situación durante esta pandemia. Mi campaña es para ir al estado a Sacramento, al estado, y empujar a este estado para que finalmente elimine esa desigualdad que existe en nuestra sociedad. So what does it mean to make equity the overarching theme of your campaign? To me, it means certain things have to be priorities. And the first thing among them is healthcare. The fact is that even though all of us suffered during the pandemic, there are some communities that suffer more, including some communities that were decimated and devastated because of inequitable access to healthcare. That means for me that the first thing that I have to do is to push Medicare for all, to make Medicare for all finally a reality in the state of California. Because if you don't do that after a pandemic, when do you actually address that inequitable access to healthcare? ¿Qué significa hacer la desigualdad una prioridad en esta campaña? Significa empujar ciertos temas, darle prioridad a esos temas, comenzando con el tema de la salud pública. La verdad es que todos hemos sufrido, hemos sido afectados por el COVID-19, pero hay ciertas comunidades que han sufrido más que otras, especialmente comunidades como nuestros ancianos, la comunidad que tiene disabilities, y también las comunidades de colores que han sido devastadas por esta pandemia. Y si no eliminamos esa desigualdad hoy, después de una pandemia, ¿cuándo eliminamos esa desigualdad? I want to say this, that it's not just me that's prioritizing Medicare for all, because what's happening today is that the special interests that have made it a priority to defeat Medicare for All have decided to form an independent expenditure against me because they know that if I'm elected to the state assembly, that I am going to push 100% Medicare for All. And I'll tell you that this is personal for me because I'm a member of a community, the Latino community. There's a study that has been done that shows that for the generation of Latinos 22 to 54, that community is 8 times more likely to die from COVID than their white Anglo counterparts. 8 times more likely. So for this community and others, Medicare for All is about life and death. Es para mí, y quiero decirles que también los intereses que están en contra de esta reforma de la salud pública saben muy bien de que yo seré un campeón para esa reforma. Por eso es que han formado un comité político en contra mía, porque saben de que si yo gano esta elección, yo estaré empujando este cambio. Y para mí esto es algo muy personal porque soy parte de una comunidad, la comunidad latina que ha sufrido bastante en esta pandemia. Han hecho un estudio y el LA Times, ese periódico, reportó acerca de eso, que en la generación de latinos que tienen de 22 a 54 años, esta generación fue 8 veces más probable de morir de COVID que la población anglosajona. 8 veces. O sea que para estas comunidades de color como la comunidad latina, esto es muy importante, es algo de vida o muerte. The other thing that has to happen if we're going to address the inequities in society is that we need an equitable recovery. And one of the things that I'm going to push for is for a Green New Deal for California. And I think that we need to build our own recovery program, our own infrastructure program to build on Build Back Better. What I think we should do is we should invest in what I call Build Back Fairer, where those new green jobs are specially targeted in communities that were hit the hardest by COVID, and especially communities of color and poor communities throughout the state. And when we actually try to address the needs of communities like seniors, like the disabled community, to see what additional benefits we can provide to help them, recover from this pandemic. And that's where I think, having the input from folks like you who represent these communities is going to be critical to make sure that that recovery plan is truly equitable. Otra cosa que quiero hacer es, quiero tener un plan de recubrimiento, de recuperación después de la pandemia que sea equitable, que enfoque las necesidades de tantas comunidades, especialmente la creación de trabajos verdes en comunidades de color que han sufrido bastante durante esta pandemia. Creo que el estado de California tiene que invertir su propio dinero para agregar esa suma de dinero a lo que está proveyendo el gobierno federal. Y creo que el dinero que el gobierno de California invierta debe de darle prioridad a las comunidades que han sufrido más durante la pandemia. Now, let me also talk about some things that are really important to me in terms of the senior and disabled community. I think that we need to make a greater investment in programs that address the needs of this community, especially after the pandemic. I know that there's been talk of actually reducing funding for senior programs. I'm completely against that. I think that this is the time to actually invest more in those kinds of programs. I think we also need to prioritize certain things that are essential to seniors in the disabled community. Transportation being a key point in that. And I am proud that when I was a supervisor, I am the one who made free Muni for youth possible, which then led to the expansion of making Muni free for seniors and disabled San Franciscans. That's what we need to do. And I actually want to bring that program to the state level because I think that public transit is something that should be accessible to all seniors and to all members of the disabled community. Algo más que quisiera agregar es que creo que es muy importante que se le dé prioridad en el presupuesto a programas que ayuden a los ancianos y las personas que tienen disabilidades. Cuando yo fui supervisor, fui el que establecí el programa de transporte gratis para los niños pobres, lo cual también llevó a que se expandiera el programa de transporte público gratis para los ancianos y personas con disabilidades. Yo quiero hacer lo mismo que hice en San Francisco, hacerlo en el estado de California. So let me just leave it at this, and now I'm happy to take questions, but just this. My campaign is about fighting for the underdog, fighting for those individuals who have been left behind from the prosperity in this society. California is the wealthiest state in the country, and yet it has the highest rate of poverty of any state in the country. I am fighting to go to Sacramento to change that. I want nothing less than ending poverty in California as we know it. That's the kind of agenda that I have. And I am proud to be someone who is not taking a single penny from corporate interests, because I don't want to be beholden to the corporations. And that has made it hard. You know, I have raised over $400,000, but my main opponent has raised more than $600,000 because he is taking money from corporate interests. And it is those interests that have stood in the way of the progress that we need. And I'm sorry, but the reason we're running this campaign the way we're running is because it is one thing to say that you are for Medicare for all. It is one thing to say that you are for holding corporations accountable, but you cannot do that. You cannot live up to that if at the same time you're taking money from the very people that you say you're going to hold accountable. That's not how politics has worked. And that's the reason why we haven't had the change we need in California. That's why I'm proud to say I am running a corporate free campaign and that I'm unafraid to take on the special interests. Quiero decir algo muy importante acerca de esta campaña. Esta campaña no está recibiendo ningún centavo de las corporaciones. No recibe ningún centavo de ninguna entidad de corporación, porque nosotros sabemos de que si recibimos ese dinero de ellos, no vamos a ser independientes de ellos cuando lleguemos al puesto. Hemos visto tanto político que dice que va a cobrarles más a las corporaciones, que va a cobrarles más a estos ricos, pero cuando llegan al puesto no lo hacen porque recibieron dinero de esas mismas corporaciones. Es por esa razón que esta campaña está libre de ese dinero, porque cuando nosotros seamos electos vamos a representarlos a ustedes, no a esas corporaciones. So with that, I'm proud to stand before you as a champion for the people, as a voice for the people who is unafraid and untainted by the corporations. Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias.
Okay.
All right.
We have questions. You can raise your hand in the chat or on the phone, *9. And Sid, and you're up first, Sid Corrales.
Hi, David. I've been supporting you before. Now my question is out of your topic. This is about, do you support public bank in San Francisco? Money will be spent here instead of going to Wall Street.
Do you support a public bank?
Do I support a public bank? Absolutely. Yeah. I support a public bank, and one of the reasons that I'm not taking corporate money is because I think that one of the reasons that hasn't happened is because you have all these banking corporations and institutions that have given so much money to politicians in Sacramento that they haven't really moved on it. And that's why I'm running corporate free. La pregunta era acerca de si apoyo a un banco público, y completamente estoy a favor de la creación de un banco público, y la razón por la cual no tomo dinero recibo dinero de ninguna corporación porque esos bancos han establecido corporaciones que le dan mucho dinero a los políticos y es por eso que un banco público no ha sido creado. So 100% for it.
Okay, Art Persico, you're next.
Hi, David. I have a question about inequality. Some cities in our country can tax extreme wealth, but it requires state enabling legislation. Would you sponsor or support legislation that would allow California cities like San Francisco, which has extreme wealth, to tax it? So we can pay for all the needs of the 99%, we might call them.
Thank you for that question, Art. Absolutely, 100%. I think that's why this independent expenditure has been formed to support Matt Haney and to be against me, because they know that I am going to go after that money. San Francisco, it's a tale of two cities in San Francisco. On one hand, it's the wealthiest city in the country. You know that for we have the most billionaires per capita in the world. We have a billionaire for every 11,000 residents in San Francisco.
God.
And yet we have some of the poorest San Franciscans who don't even have food on the table. Absolutely. I'm going to do that. And that's going to be one of the first things that I do, that we go after those corporations and that we tax the wealthy to pay their fair share. It's that simple. Me preguntó si estaba a favor de darle impuestos a los ricos para pagar los servicios que necesitamos para la gente más pobre. Y le estaba explicando que absolutamente estoy a favor de eso. La razón por la cual no recibo ningún centavo de las corporaciones es porque sabemos que los ricos, cuando dan estas donaciones, esperan algo en retorno. Y en San Francisco es una historia de dos ciudades, porque tenemos una ciudad que es la ciudad más rica del país. Por cada residente, cada 11,000 residentes tenemos un billonario en San Francisco, y aún así también tenemos tanta pobreza. Por eso tenemos que cambiar el sistema de impuestos y hacer que los ricos paguen lo debido, lo que sea justo.
Thank you so very much. You have no other questions. And I want to thank everybody who has been on this call, on the Zoom, and please tell your friends who's running and give them an idea of what these people stand for. Thank you so very much, David.
Thank you.
Jody?
Yes. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Be safe out there. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So thank you, everybody. We've been recording this candidate forum. So we will send it around so that people who are unable to join us will be able to hear the statements and Q&A from all of the candidates.
Fantastic.
And let's translate that, Yesenia.
Gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Quería informarles que esta presentación que tuvimos con los candidatos ha sido grabada y va a estar disponible para el que quiera escucharla.
Okay. Thank you all for being
here. Thank you, Jody, Cynthia,
you.
and Haney for all their work, and Yesenia.
Thank you for the translation.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you all for sticking it out and for being here, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye,
Remember
everybody.
to vote.